evening, everybody, and welcome to Authors Up, our favorite place to be on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. We hope that you are making it your favorite place to be as well. We have a wonderful show planned for you tonight. We have a great author that's hiding in the back, but we're going to introduce her to you in just a little bit in the amazing book that she has written. But before we get started, we first want to say greetings to our other co-host who is missing. She is out of town taking care of some family things, but we want you to continue to pray for her and just think about her. We miss her, and we hope that she will be able to be back with us very, very soon. But in the meantime, Victoria, we are holding it down, girl. We're doing the best we can without you. We're going to be on our best behavior, too. At least I am. I can't speak for Ruth, but I'm going to be on my best behavior, okay? But we're going to get started like we usually do, and that is with our weekend review. So, Miss Ruth, welcome the folks, and tell us what's been going on in your world.
Well, thank you for everybody who's joined in tonight and will join in later through the podcast or our YouTube channel. We can't be a show without you. So, yeah. I had a absolutely wonderful week, and I bet you can guess why.
Gee, I wonder what could have happened.
Well, of course, I took a little trip up to Maryland to see my favorite little, 6-month-old person. And she is just, I told my son-in-law afterward, I'm like, I've got to come back soon because you blink and she's doing something new. So she's crawling now. One of her aunties got her a little cute chair. She doesn't sit in it. She uses it to climb up and try to peek over the top of her playpen. So she's getting into stuff. She's realized that she has cats, that they have cats. So now she is like actively trying to touch them, which they don't appreciate. And she's eating food. I mean, it's just, she is just, and she's the tiniest little thing. What's that?
Well, how old is she?
Six months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, she's the tiniest little thing, but her mom was too at that age. So I'm like, you don't even worry, because my daughter keeps telling me, she said 14 percentile. I'm like, and so are you. Look at what she's doing. So, she liked me this time. So last time she just kind of looked at me and started crying, but this time she was like, I think I know you. So she was just a load. She was just fun. Of course, she's still doing that. Hey, let's get up at 4:30 in the morning and wake everybody else up. So she's a morning person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, beyond that, I had to come back yesterday because, I have an adult and I'm got responsibilities. But I'll be going back up soon to play with my little granddaughter.
Actually, I was surprised to see you. When you came
I keep hearing that.
I thought, are you back? You're back?
I keep hearing that. So apparently, yes, I've made that apparent. That is my life now. So, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
And we are as well, as long as you send pictures. You fall down on the photo shoots, then I don't know. We're not going to let you go as often. You got to understand that you have an assignment. It's not just fun for you, but we want to see the baby too.
Yes, I understand. So I'm gonna do better. How about that?
Okay. Okay.
Well, how was your week?
Actually, it was very productive. Last week, I really kind of dug my heels in and worked very diligently to finish volume 3. I was talking to you earlier. I don't know why this one is so hard. 1 and 2 seem to go by so quickly. So I don't know whether the pieces are longer or whether I know this is the last one in this series I'm going to do, and I'm kind of dragging my heels and putting it off a little bit. But I got a lot done last week in doing that. And
Hmm.
that and life, just life with all these changes with
Yeah.
medical plans and tests and trials and appointments and all of that, which was not the fun part of the week, but it is something that has to be done. And I hope that when we come together next week, I will have nothing but good news to share. That part
All
I'm
right.
looking forward to. Not looking forward to the test and stuff, but looking forward to have a good report next week when we come together.
That sounds good.
So that kind of was a kind of chill week, but like I said, a productive week, and I enjoyed my family, enjoyed seeing some people, enjoyed making some connections with folks I hadn't heard from for a while. So
Hmm.
it was all good, all good, all good. But I am most excited about having the opportunity to go over some notes and things that I had from this amazing book and amazing author that we're going to talk about tonight. And we're going to introduce her to our audience in just a minute. But let me tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Sharon Woodhouse, and she is a former indie book publisher and current owner of Conspire Creative, a book business agency. I like that. A book business agency that offers coaching, consulting, project management, and business support services for authors and indie publishers. She writes about all aspects of creating holistic, income generating author businesses you love and finding your place in the vibrant ecosystem of books on Substacks and in her new book, The Profitable Author: 1,001 Ways to Build a Business You Love Around Your Books. I tell you what, I can't wait. I can't wait. We were talking about things that we wanted her to talk about when she joins us in just a few minutes. So let me tell you, sometimes we'll tell you to sit back and relax, but this is one time we'll tell you you may want to get a piece of paper and a pen, or get
Hmm.
your tablet out, or whatever it is that you use to take notes with, because there are some takeaways that you are going to want to have. So get yourself together, hang in there. We're going to take a brief pause, and then we're going to come back and introduce you to Sharon Woodhouse.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Ruth. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on our show. We are excited to chat
Yes,
with you
yes.
tonight.
Hmm.
All right. So usually I start off with tell us about your book, but I want to hear about the story leading up to your book, The Profitable Author.
Well, like I said, I was an indie book publisher for 25 years, and I sort of stumbled into that because I was a philosophy major in college. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I left. I didn't know about the corporate world. I didn't know about getting a job other than fast food and things like this. So I was just sort of figuring life out after college with my philosophy degree that I hadn't thought of what I was going to do with. And it was the early days of desktop publishing, and I had heard about some people writing a book about Chicago. And I was like, I'm writing a book about Chicago. So I was sort of dabbling in it because I'm a fourth generation Chicagoan on both sides.
Nice.
And I learned about self publishing. And without even thinking much about it, I just thought, oh, I'll do that. And what's odd is that if I had known about the industry of publishing, I would have gone into it. It was a natural fit for me, but good thing is at the time I never thought about the world that created the books that I love to read. That, you know, it was just they show up on the library shelves or bookstore shelves. So I did one book, and it was the early days where I'm writing letters on a typewriter. So I would borrow a friend's computer to write the book. I did the first cover by hand. It was a disaster. But, you know, I did a couple of books, and then I published a book by a friend that I grew up with. It was on Chicago's ghost stories and the history behind them, the real history behind the stories. And the book we had made a deal. If the book made no money, she wouldn't take anything. But if the book were profitable, she'd take 50% of whatever we made on it. So the book was such a hit that within a short amount of time, we each made $50,000 off of it.
Oh, wow.
And that's still a shocking number. So it's still shocking. It was still the best book I've ever published. As far as those numbers that fast, we went on to publish 3 more books in that series. So I sort of accidentally became a publisher. And then at some point during the pandemic, I was shutting it down after 25 years. I was recovering from a concussion at some point. I was not keeping up with the industry. I was keeping my business going, but not kind of thinking ahead. And that's when digital publishing and started coming to the forefront. And that is when Ingram changed their business model. And after distributing my books for 25 years, they said, no more. You have to move to the digital print on demand. And I'm like, I don't print in the ones, I print in the thousands, but they didn't care. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe time to think of something new. So I shut that down. And it was during and then the pandemic happened. I don't remember the order. And I just started writing down what I knew about publishing on Medium as a way to, one, keep busy during the pandemic, maybe have something to offer the few freelance clients that I had at the time. And I just thought, I'd empty out, all this knowledge I have. And after about writing 200 articles, I think, I realized that I had a specialty, and it was creating businesses around books, promoting entrepreneurship, and for authors to get what they wanted out of their book. One, use their book to get the things they wanted from life, so sort of figure out how you incorporate that, but also how to meet your author goals, not by learning publishing better or being a better writer necessarily, but by being better at business and learning business. And that is how you get your goal, reach most of your goals easier with, I think with more energy and creativity, more visibility, more money. And that is, the goals, whether they're financial or non-financial, big, small. And I think people who adopt that attitude just have a lot more fun with it, and they see new opportunities. They meet great new people. They get out of their shell. They, that, like I was saying before, they start seeing that how much creating a business is just like writing a book. It's a creative endeavor that you sort of make up as you go. There's skills and guidelines that you're using, but essentially you're inventing something, and as a way to connect with the world and serve the world and make a bit of money, hopefully.
And that, what, and that is the important part. I've been in books, publishing, writing for the last 20 years. And, I've seen the trends, I've seen all of this, and that I feel like has been the hardest part for authors, going into understanding that it's not just, I wrote a book. Now you have to promote it. Now you have to share it. Now you have to keep up with the business aspect of it. Yeah. And I'll be honest, that's why I loved your book. I think that this, it used to be, hey, every writer should have, the writers, my brain fails me at the moment, but they should have this, they should have that, the writer's market book. They should have, certain encyclopedia. This book should be this is a must have for every
yes.
author, I feel. Yes. So, and I think other people feel the same way. So I was looking at your book online. It is the gold winner for the 2025 Heart and Hustle Book Awards, the gold winner for the 2025 International Firebird Book Award in Writing and Publishing, for the Reader's Favorite, for the NYC Big Book Award. And just the reviews, people are calling it an invaluable resource. Best advice for authors, a true revelation. So, I I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I think, that says a lot.
Thank you.
Now you have, I thought it was interesting because you did mention this at the start of the book, 101 ways. That's a lot. So it's not
1,001 ways.
1,001 ways.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, 1,001
No, that's okay.
ways. Yes. Why 1,001 ways?
Well, because the book that helped me sort of develop this mindset was John Kramer's long-standing brick of a book called, oh my gosh, 1,001 Ways to Market Your Books, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point I saw that it had gone out of print, or I thought it had. I think I may have been confused about where it stands, but I was like, that's such a shame, because I would buy that book in bulk and give it to all my authors. I would sell it at events, because it really, well, one, it shows you that it's your responsibility to promote your book, and just how you can rely endlessly on creativity. And you know what? It doesn't all even have to be your creativity. You can borrow ideas from other people if they happen to work for you in your books. So that was a tribute to John Kramer's book. It's also true, I think, and it also represents just how many options there are for people. There's enough options that everyone can find their own way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not just, do this, and this.
Right.
And that there are lots of books on the market from authors who have done this, and this. Yeah. And it worked great for them, but it's not going to work for everybody. Right. So I love that you give so many options and so much information. I think the article that stood out to me the most, again, having done this for a while, you talked about the 15 types of income.
Oh, yeah.
From royalties to rights, things you expect to events, book sales. And then you added the last one was the income from the day job.
Yeah.
That is, and again, I think a lot of authors have the mindset that, I'm not an author until I do this full time.
Right.
But that's just not true, is it?
Yeah. I mean, especially because I present those 15 types of author income. And I actually want to add 16 investment income, because I think so many people start writing when they are retired. And so in some ways their investments or, their retirement funds are in some ways supporting their activities. So at one point I'm going to add that into it. But I'm really encouraging people to find the business model that works for them. What activities, what way of structuring your author life will bring you what you need primarily. And let's start with money. That's what the income types are. And that's your day job. And for some people, the day job can, besides just bringing you income, it can do all sorts of things. One, depending on the type of work you do, it can help you gradually move from one thing to another. You can reduce your hours and from your day job and move into that. That's a way it supports your business model. Another thing is sometimes your business model, especially if you're a nonfiction author, is that's where you're learning and practicing your expertise and becoming known in your field. So your day job directly supports your author life, because maybe you're a professor or a journalist or a scientist or any other type of thought leader. The other thing is a lot of people have jobs that are seemingly mindless or don't require a lot of activity. So those day jobs allow them creativity and mental space. Say you're a night watchman or a security guard, or these things where you're sitting at a desk, perhaps a receptionist answering the phone once in a while. Jobs like that give you the opportunity to think, to make notes, to plan other things that are really important for authors. So I did want to include the day job. At some point, I really realized that could be a part of, or is in reality already a part of most people's business models, whether or not they treat it like that.
No, and I think again that is important, because I think there's that myth of the great American novel.
Right.
You rent a cabin, shock it out, the publisher takes it, and then you're set for life, and that's just not.
Yeah.
Not
And
what it
even,
is.
yeah, and even if that does work, that money's not coming for 3 or 4 years, or right, or until they sell the movie rights or the foreign
Yes.
language translation rights.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's a lot. I did want to quote one interesting thing. You wrote 3,000 books means you're taking yourself and your writing career seriously. When you lay down real money to print 3,000 books at traditional printing plant, there there is no pretending that this is not a business. And obviously, you're talking about the traditional versus the print on
Right.
demand
Yeah.
model. But speak to that a little bit.
Sure. Well, 3,000 is, at least traditionally, it was the quantity at which you could get really great unit costs when printing with a traditional printer. I think that's come down to 2,000 because of pressures on the printing industry. But, we would have those books in pallets at our office sitting, and you see every day when you're walking to the bathroom or to the lunchroom, you see my job is to move those books off the pallets into stores or into customers' hands and retrieve the money at some point for those. So I think, and not only that, is for some people, the best marketing is still in-person marketing. Book clubs, bookstores, libraries, events, conferences, gift shops, whatever it might be. And those sorts of business models, if that happens to be what works for you in your book, require you to have inventory. So if you're not even going to get rid of 3,000, it's one way to think about it. Those books that you're paying $5-6 on Amazon, if you're printing at a printer, those might be, depending on the book, $1.50, $2, $3 at most when you're printing like that. And that includes having them shipped to your garage or your basement storage unit.
Yeah.
So, if you have a business model that says, hey, I'm going to do 3 public events a month for the next 3 years, that's 3 times 12 times 3, 108. And at each one, I hope to sell 10 books. Okay, so that's just 1,000. But my example wasn't great, but it's an example of that. If my business model involves 3 public events as just one piece of it, that means that in 3 years, which I think is a very reasonable amount of time for anyone to give their book, do not give up if you are not devoting serious energy and effort to promoting your book for 3 years. Mm-hmm. That's what traditional publishers used to do. It still makes sense in my mind. And that's what we're talking about, just a commitment to your work. And so connect it with things that you find fun, whether that's learning public speaking, if you prefer more intimate environments, maybe showing up at book clubs or doing virtual book clubs. People will find their thing, and once you get out there, opportunities will start coming your way. But that is when you take it seriously. You make the commitment, and you're just, in the beginning, it's like throwing spaghetti on the wall. You're seeing what works. But when you're committed to that and a little bit of momentum builds, then you start having choices, then opportunities start coming your way. Then you can start saying, oh, I'm not going to do that thing that makes me $10 and I drove 2 hours and prepared for, paid for parking and dinner. You're like, I'm going to be more particular. I'm going to charge maybe $300. I'm going to insist on selling books. I'm going to sell them at full price and not discount them. And I'm going to give people a coupon and tell them to come to my next event. Or I'm going to find a partner who's going to sponsor my speaking, campaign, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I think after a while, you can just keep layering the ideas on what works. Yeah. How can I do this?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think part of that is understanding that as an author, understanding your worth and understanding that you are an author. Yeah. And this is all the work that goes with it.
That's true. And I think what people don't realize, so many people want the publisher to do the marketing for them. Mm-hmm. Traditional publishers, I think the best thing they have to offer authors these days is bookstore distribution, traditional bookstore distribution. And that's not nothing, but it's not everything. You still, whether you're self-published, hybrid published, traditionally published, university press, religious press, whatever, you're still doing the bulk of the work. And one reason is that people want to talk to the author. Mm-hmm. They don't have warm and fuzzy feelings toward the publisher. They want to talk to you. You're the creator. You're the person who moved them. They have questions for you, And And I think for me, that's why publishing is good. I like being behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But for authors, they have to be, make themselves available in
Yes.
different ways for their
Yes.
audience. Yeah.
Yes. That's really good. All right, Andrea, what you got?
Look, let me tell you, I love this book, and I don't even look at it as a book. It's an encyclopedia.
Ah,
That's what, that's what I like to refer to it as, because anything that I need to ask, am looking to ask, and wondering about, it can be found in this book. And I think that's wonderful. And there's a part in there where you talk about the fact that you can read it any way that you want to. You
yeah.
know, you don't have to start at the beginning and just go page by page by page. You can think, gee, I wonder where I'm going wrong with my business plan as an
Yeah.
author. And you've got a section in there about the author's business plan. And I can turn to that and get what I need from that will catapult me and motivate me to go on and do something else. And I think it is incredible that you have compiled that much information in this one place that, that I can now go and say, I'm really going to put this into practice. And that's the other thing. These are not difficult things to do.
Right.
They are not difficult things to do. And I mean, there's so much that I love about it. I know that we had asked you to read something from the book, and I think that you decided upon the author's business creed.
Yes.
Before we get to that, I looked at the seven pillars
Oh,
of
yeah.
a profitable author. And I
Yeah.
looked at them and I thought, why am I not doing this? This is not the, know that it's possible.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you got there. And then know that it's possible. How can I be at this point at this place? And I have written several books and several collections and everything. I know that it's possible. I know that it's possible in my heart.
Yeah.
My head, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Because to know that it's possible means that I've got to apply
Mm.
these other six pillars.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got to do that in some way. And I think you had one here. Do 5 things a day to promote your book, yourself, your expertise, your author career. 5 things a day. Can you quickly get to those 5 things?
Oh, sure. Well, the 5 things a day is just anything, any 5 things. That's how flexible it is. And I think by doing 5 things a day, there's many things that are happening. You're staying committed, you're staying focused, you're testing what works and doesn't work, you're putting feelers out into the world, you're connecting with people, and you are constantly reminding yourself, this is how it works. I am building a business, I am promoting my books, I'm promoting my authorship. So those things can be, and 5 is arbitrary, but it works in general for a lot of people. After, say, 2 or 3 months of doing it, maybe you discover that to get the amount of attention and business you need, it takes 3 things. Other people, it might be 8 things. It also depends on whether you're counting a Facebook post or a retweet or something small. But here are some good examples of 5 things a day that you can use. One is like podcast pitches, contacting the media, writing the press release, researching contacts in the media, going to stores to show your book, contacting book clubs. So real outreach stuff, something that really takes you out of yourself. But once you get used to it, it's not that hard anymore. Your podcast pitches, your media pitches, you will come to understand what people respond to. What's the right fit for that venue or that media outlet? And then you can keep a list. When you see things that work for other authors, put it on your list. When you see things that interest you out in the world, put it on the list. When you want to go on vacation and see the cute bookstore or the cute gift shop that's appropriate for your book, say you're a children's author and you find an out of the way toy store, or put it on the list and then do it when you feel like it, right? If you're or do it in order or group them however you want. It's very flexible, but you do it, you commit it. And I think it's just like Jerry Seinfeld always said, don't break the chain. Jerry Seinfeld is famous for like writing jokes every single day of his life, even after he became famous. And he put a big red X on his calendar if he wrote jokes that day. And he tried not to break the chain of red X's. That's the idea. And I think that's the idea here is, it and come to know yourself as someone who can do those things. It's part of but they can be what you want. So
I think that's key to Sharon. It's what you want.
Right. Yeah.
And there's so many things in here that point to your goals, your lifestyle, what is comfortable for you, what is the part that makes you feel like you're accomplishing what you need to within the framework of who you are and what works best. And I think that just comes through it in every part of the book. I think, that, and the other, to make the commitment, got to do that. But the other thing is, and I like the way you put it, up your mindset game.
Oh, yeah.
Up your mindset game as you go. It's not going to all happen at the same time.
Yes.
All going to happen at once. And I mean, I could just stay in those 7 things and be a lot farther along than I am right now. Well, so I really just the way that you have built this magnificent wealth of information in a way that is not intimidating, and in a way that I truly can walk away and say, yeah, I can do this, know that it's possible, and I can do that. And I thank you for that. I mean, it really is an amazing resource.
So I can check on you in 6 months?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I would love for you to. I got to be accountable.
Right.
Ruth, I got somebody else who's going to make me accountable.
Well, the origin of those 7 pillars is, I really realized that many authors that I published when I was the publisher, they had built part-time or full-time or side hustle businesses around their book that lasted 3, 7, 10 years, sometimes over just one book. And so I started thinking, there's something going on there. What is it that made those people able to do that versus people who tried really hard or did a lot of stuff? What was missing? And sometimes I just noticed like one thing missing. Sometimes it's making the commitment. Often that meant I come last, my family and everyone else comes first, and I never get around to what matters to me. That's often what that looks like. Sometimes it's, I refuse to learn business. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not good with numbers. Or sometimes it's knowing it's possible. I'm doing all these things, but deep down, I don't think it's possible for me. Things like that. So, yeah, I mean, I really think up your mindset from where you are now as you go. Same with the business one. Learn business skills from wherever you are at whatever pace you want as you go. That's enough. I mean, we all can only do a limited amount of things every day. Right. But, learn business when it strikes you. We live in a business-rich culture. We're marketed to constantly. Even if we don't think about it, we kind of understand the game. We go to stores, we buy stuff, we spend money, so kind of learn what's behind that, learn how it's going to work for you.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now I don't want to take any more time on that because I want to give you an opportunity to talk about the author's business creed.
Oh, okay. These are just some basic ideas. I wish I had more because there's probably more, but I created as sort of the things I wish authors could stand behind when they're embarking on something like this. One, I am a good steward of my author life, career, and business. I take myself and my books and my work seriously so that others do too. I mean, in some ways, that's the idea of you show people how to treat you. I do 5 things a day to promote my books, author status, experience, and expertise. That's because in some ways that's the no-brainer. And again, you don't have to do 5 things. It's a practice that helps you learn what works for you and helps you stay in the game and build momentum. Next, I understand that I may have to think and do differently, evolve, and or learn new skills and approaches to accomplish my author goals. That's hard for most of us.
Yep.
What am I missing as I keep hitting my head against the wall?
Yep.
And sometimes that's really just asking other people, because often it's obvious to other people what you're missing. One, I am in the meaning-making sector. I think that's important. Authors are in the world of meaning-making and creativity. And following up on that, I am an ambassador for a future economy where creativity, knowledge, and meaning-making activities are expanding. I think authors and writers are very worked up about AI. Maybe they have some concerns. Like if I were a copywriter, I would be concerned about AI especially, maybe certain types of journalism. But I still think that, AI should free us up to do really human things. And that is what authors are doing, really human things: creativity, originality, imagination, meaning making, sharing knowledge, sharing inspiration, sharing what works, sharing stuff that's relevant to other humans, and not just for the writing, but all of these other activities that now go along with things for authors: doing events, going to book clubs, conferences, workshops, whatever it might be. So that's that. Then I accept and enjoy the agency, freedoms, and responsibility of entrepreneurship. I think, that's something that a lot of us want: real agency, independence, freedom, and that comes with taking responsibility for your outcomes, and that includes responsibility for keep on going when you're deflated, not getting the results you want. And then my last one, because I do think that entrepreneurship is about, something we want for ourselves. That's why we want to be self-employed, so we can live the life we want. I use my books to achieve my other life goals. Mm-hmm. So I wish it was longer. There might be other things, but I think those are the top ones that keep coming to mind.
Yes. That's great. That is great. If I came to you and said, looked at your book, and I came to you and I said, Sharon, I want to become a profitable author, where would you send me? What would you tell me to do first? What would be the first thing that you tell me to do?
The first thing I would tell you or ask you is what's your goal? Is do you just want to make more money than you're spending? Do you want to make $1,000 a month? Do you want to build up to a full-time income? So I'd try to find out, what scale you're talking about. What's your time frame? And, a lot of people that we help, they come with very different budgets. I help people that have no more than $400 to spend, and other people are spending $4,000 a month on their book and getting outside help for it. So I try to help people with what I know, with where they're at. So what's your goal? How much do you have to invest in it? How much do you want to make from it? So I would find out some of those basics and then start talking through things like, what have you already done? What do you like to do? What do you think fits with your personality and the constraints of the life? Do you have kids or are you retired? Do you have a flexible job, or do you have, are you a firefighter and you have a particular schedule? Things like this. And then I would go through some of the things that I know work. The 5 things a day would get you on a plan like that. Another formula I have, and I really don't like formulas. I should just say I only have a couple. My other formula I call the outreach formula, and that is if you're trying to build a full-time business, reach out 4 hours a day. If you're trying to make a half-time income, whatever that means to you, reach out 2 hours a day. Quarter income, 1 hour a day. For maintenance, 15 to 30 minutes. And so outreach means contacting people you know, contacting people you don't know, contacting people you want to know, contacting people who know people you know. And it means asking for things. It means offering things. It means sharing things. It means brainstorming. So you could be, sometimes it's just asking people, how do you think you can help me? These are some of the problems I'm having. What do you think? Or do you know anyone in this industry? Do you know anyone who runs self-help groups at churches or in hospitals or at senior centers, things like that. So my question to you, you're a poet, right?
Yes, I am.
So how do you sell most of your books right now?
Either through events or I do what I call a reading for his glory. So, it's kind of a book club kind of thing. But my challenge is consistency.
Yeah.
And sustainability.
Yep.
I think for the most part, the questions that you posed just now are not necessarily questions that a lot of authors give any thought to until after they've published the book. The mindset is, and I guess this is why I was drawn to those particular things, because the mindset is usually, I have a story.
Yeah.
I have a story and I want to tell this story. And somebody has told me that is a wonderful idea. You should write a book. And you set out to write the book, but they don't tell you. And then you are going to have to sell the book and talk about the book and let people know about the book. And on top of all that, you would like to make some money from the book. None of those things come into play. It is just, I got this story and I got to get it told. I got to get it out.
Well, one way to think about it is sales makes a lot of people nervous. Instead of thinking, I have to sell these books, you think, who would benefit from this book? Who wants to hear this story? And, another important leap that so many people don't make is, one, you need to clarify your financial goals and what you really want, and don't misrepresent it. A lot of people are just like, hey, we all want the money because this is a great way to make a living if we can, right? But people move from selling one book at a time to selling 10 books at a time, to selling 100 books at a time, to selling 1,000 books at a time, or whatever amounts in between. Because if you think about it, and let's stay at the small end because it's much easier, isn't it easier to sell 15 books to a book club than to sell one book to someone else? It takes about the same amount of time. Right. And you really make a lot more money selling 15 books at one time. So for instance, if I were you and I tended to go to book clubs or maybe church book clubs, that sounds like it has a religious or spiritual flavor to it, then I would think not just the churches and in my community, but the churches of other people I know and their communities and their family and friends and neighbors and coworkers communities who might want virtual thing. And I would create a program where the books can be bought at a discount by buying them in bundles. 5, 10, 15, or 20, your choice. Here are the special prices. The more you get there, you get a slightly better thing. We all meet, I tend to do these on Tuesday nights at this time. And then I would think I'm going to start contacting people and booking them for one of my sessions. And I'm going to help people by telling them how it works. They don't even have to guess or invent it. I tell them what my program is, how it works. I make it easy for them to pay me, and I show up and I give it my all. And there we go. Then you have a money-making thing, and you're serving people, and you're enjoying yourself, and you're using your gifts. And there you go. That's an example.
Call me in 6 months.
I already wrote it down.
All right.
Sharon, this has been wonderful, and I one thing that our other co-host Victoria always says is get the book.
Get the book.
And we really want people to get the book. If you are writing on any level, if you want to write on any level, if you've thought about it and just don't know where to go or where to start, get the book. There is a wealth of information. When she says 1,001, I don't know whether she counted, but I think there's more than 1,001 in that book. But be sure, put that on the list of things to do for yourself,
Yes.
to help yourself to grow and to help to take things to another level and change things a little bit. Sharon, let me ask you one other thing before we get off the line tonight. With everything that you've done and all of the things out there, are you doing workshops at all? That's number one. And number two, are you at a place where lost my train of thought? Is there anything in the book about the train of thought? Oh, wait, here, I remember now. It's about being able to expand this beyond what we've been talking about right here in terms of people being able to get in contact with you.
Oh, sure.
How would they do that?
People can do it through either of my websites, conspirecreative.com or profitableauthorbook.com. I also have a Substack, The Profitable Author. So those are all ways people can reach me. And I am doing events, and I'm building that aspect of my business. And it's going to start with one free monthly how-to event.
Oh.
So the first one is actually this Thursday, October 30th. 1 p.m. Central Time, 1 hour, and it's trick or treat for authors. And it is a how-to for outreach. So people bring their outreach challenges, and the group will help them by sharing the treats, the leads, the connections, the advice, things like that. So that's where we're starting as far as the monthly free events.
Mm-hmm. Now, are these on your website?
It's on the Conspire Creative site, and there's an article on it on the Substack.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Sharon, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Being with us. It has been a joy to hear all these wonderful things that we can do and know that we can put it into practice because it's possible. We know that it's possible. Ruth, do you have anything for Sharon as we get ready to close out tonight?
I do not. All I want to say is just thank you for being a guest tonight. And thank you for writing the book. Thank you for sharing that. I also want to reiterate to get the book. I also want to say, go ahead and join her Substack. Go ahead and make that investment in yourself because it's definitely worth it.
I'm going to thank you guys for that framing because I haven't done it. It is the first demonstration of taking yourself seriously, right? And I want to emphasize the stuff in the book is not theoretical. It is all actual stuff that people have done, all tested, all real examples.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, Ruth, you know how to close us out. I don't have it down to a science yet, but
I feel like I've got it down at least to brevity. Just go to our website, authorsofshow.com. No, but seriously, we will have a replay of the live show Saturday night at 7 p.m. here on the ALH broadcasting. If you prefer, you can download the podcast. It will be available midweek, or you could go to our YouTube channel and watch it there on Wednesday. I would also state, please follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. There you
You
go.
get there. It's short, not quite short enough for me.
Ah,
But thank you for letting everybody know where they can find us. Sharon, thank you again
Yes,
for
thank
being
you.
with us
thank you.
tonight.
This is
Thank
great.
those of you who joined us tonight, and be sure to come back again. Come on back. We're here every Sunday night live at Authors Up. Uh, and I just want to say, you have to come back because you never know what's going to happen.
I'm coming back in 6 months to check on you, Andrea. And I'm going to throw Ruth on there as well. Ruth, too.
Okay. Hey.
See what she's done in
I
6
can't
months.
wait. I can't wait. But we will be right here at 7
Okay.
p.m. on Sunday evenings for Authors Up. You never know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
please come back, join us, join in the fun, join in the information. Have an absolutely amazing week. And we'll see you right back here next
Same to
Sunday
you. Thank
at
you.
7 p.m. Sharon, thanks
Good
again.
night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sharon. All
See
right.
you
Good night.
soon.